Alright guys, this is Dominic Toretto. Welcome to my channel. And in this episode, I'm gonna talk about our crazy road trip from Cape Town to Cairo that we did 2018. So in 2018, two of my mates from South Africa, Dean and Michael, hopped on a call with me and they were like, bro, we really want to cross Africa in a car and we're still looking for a third person. Do you want to join? And I was like, I don't know, but I could be. Literally a day later, I said like, yeah, you know what? I'm in. That's a once in a lifetime opportunity. So in this video, I'm gonna show you what happened within the first couple of weeks in South Africa and how our little adventure nearly turned out to be a complete disaster. So make sure you watch the video until the end. Since I was busy for the first 2 weeks of the road trip, they invited a common friend, Jordan, over. The plan was to meet 2 weeks after in Botswana, so that Dean, Michael and me would continue the rest of the trip together. The first couple of days went really nice, and I took the absolutely stunning road down the South African coastline, watched some majestic dick-swinging elephants, and some absolutely beautiful and breathtaking sunsets. Since Dean and Michael are experienced spotters, Jordan had the time of his life. They spent a beautiful day in Coffee Bay, and although it was quite cloudy and cold, they had an awesome surf session. The road trip went on no problems at all until they made one big mistake, and that was letting this dodgy guy drive. So at day 6, they came along this beautifully flat road, no danger in sight, and the worst thing that can happen on a road trip was about to happen. So yeah, the ride was going smoothly. They let Jordan drive. Jordan is a responsible driver, but Jordan also is kind of like a person that gets easily distracted. So and then, about a week into the trip, I got a voicemail from Dean saying something went wrong with a car or whatever, and like they had some issues on a road trip, and I was like, I don't really understand what you're saying. So Dean sent me a video of what really happened, and I'll show you the clip without saying much.
So, we busy driving lovely down this road, hits left front tire, hits the, dirt, comes flying down here. We're trying to slow down, we brake, then we're going tight tracks, come flying through here, hitting full brakes, trying to slow us down, and we come up to this motherfucker, right over here, as you can see, it's about 1.5 meter ditch, hit this thing, keep going on 2 wheels, half made it. Can't believe our car made it down there. What suspension. Come flying. What a Toyota. Comes like a beast. Thought we might make it. We probably landed somewhere around here. And as you can see, yeah, it did not turn out okay. But all of us are all good. And isn't that what matters in the end of the day, hey?
So the story is that Jordan grabbed down to get the Bluetooth speaker and got slightly distracted.
So guys, as you can see, we had a small little accident. Probably not the best thing in the world, but we shall see, hey?
So now that we've seen the story from one side, that is exactly what Dean and Michael told me. Let's see what Jordan has to say. So I met up with Jordan a couple of weeks ago in a random restaurant in Thailand and asked him to share his point of view on the whole story and how he experienced it. As you can clearly see in his face, he wasn't too happy about it, but let's see what he remembers of the whole incident.
This was not good, and I go from like this isn't good, so like I'm kind of panicking at this point. I got to problem solve rapidly, and I didn't problem solve effectively, to be honest. There were some issues. Go up here, and I clip the like front left wheel over a bit of the embankment, and that's what destabilizes the car. The right 2 tires actually hit like that sloped bit, and we're kind of going this way, and that's what fucking pulls the car there. So we didn't actually fully flip the car. We banged it against one side, it banged off, went up and over onto that side. It never fully tumbled. Mikey literally woke up and was like, what just happened? And I look up to my left, and homie Dean is strapped to the seats, essentially suspended in the air, looking down at me. The seatbelt, dude, the Japanese engineers at Toyota, like, mad respect, mad props. Toyota, you got me. So the first thing we do is just like grab our weapons and throw them in our pocket. You know, I don't know how much that would help. There was a lot of them and not a lot of us. And these dudes from the work yard just came over and started like taking complete control of the scenario. We were like, you fucking people, get the fuck out of here. Like, so these people that completely mitigated the looting risk that we were clearly exposed to. Also, yo, Dina, what's the deal with insurance? Oh yeah, dude, I bought insurance for every fucking country on the trip except for this one. Excuse me? Excuse me?
That was the thing, yeah.
Oh, son of a bitch.
So Jordan actually had a really good point there. If you break down somewhere in Africa, in particularly in South Africa, people will just rock up and take everything and all of your belongings, and you're good if you're getting away without getting physically harmed. So after the car had securely get towed away, Dean and Jordan had to go to the nearest police station. And the type of stories that go on behind these curtains is next level for someone from a Western society. But listen for yourself.
And so we're at this like police compound, and Dean's with me at the time, and at this point he's like contacting his dad and his family, trying to like pretty much give everyone who needs the information that's just, you know, come online. And while I've got to go deal with the police people, and I literally, like, I'm not a religious person, but sometimes when I just have a little like, all right, Jesus, if you're out there, I literally did one of those little like mock like, and I walk into this portable, and all of a sudden I hear like, holy shit, I've never heard someone get smacked that hard in my life, and I've been around some violence in my life. And I thought to myself, like, holy shit, I hope this guy didn't crash a car. Holy fuck, this is not good. And so I've literally popped my head in with absolute bewilderment. I've been like, hey, two mamas told me I was supposed to come to this room, talk to some dude named like so-and-so. And the guy was like literally in the middle of like beating the shit out of this dude. This big fucking African dude is handcuffed to a fucking chair, just taking shots. And I was so stunned by it that I just sat there for a minute, and the dude was like, yeah, we'll deal with you in a few minutes. I'm like, okay. And I didn't like leave the room like I was supposed to. I just sort of like sat stunned, and they just kept on beating him. At that point, I'm out of here. Fuck this shit. And you could hear the guy in the chair actually just taking it like a fucking champ, to be honest. Like, he wasn't backing down. He was like, you beat my ass, or fuck this shit. There were truck driver riots in the country at the time, so like, a lot of the Africans who work in South Africa but are not South African were getting hated on by the South Africans who are like, you're taking a job, you're doing all, yeah, exactly. So I suspect that's what was going on. So I think the guy who was taking shots was glad that I showed up, because they ended up like hitting him a bunch more really quickly. They're like, all right, we gotta finish this up. And they dragged the dude across the open yard into the jail cell and like kicked him into the cell. It's my time. A fragile man, don't do this to me. And the guy, so he throws him in the jail cell. He's walking back across the yard. He makes eye contact with me and immediately just smiles. And not one of those like devious smiles of like, oh, I'll fuck you up. He smiles. It's one of those like, hey man, like, come in the room. Like, sorry you were waiting. Like, yeah, that guy had it coming. Like, we ain't on that with you. But that guy was a dick. Crazy how the guy switched from like bad cop to good cop, essentially. And I was sitting there being like, okay, still a little stressed, but like, okay, we're in the clear. And yeah, I sat down in the room with the guy. He had the accident report from the mamas, and looked at, he had my passport, looked at the passport. It seemed like I traveled everywhere. And I looked at me being like a fucking weird, like, not brown guy thing, traveling with some like white fucking South African dude. He just looked at me and was like, oh, he was just like, you are in a weird place. Are you lost? And I was like, honestly, kinda.
So while Jordan had to deal with the local police, Dean and Michael flew home to Cape Town. Within 3 days, they found the exact same car in white, and fitted in everything that survived the crash. Afterwards, they just continued with the original plan.
So, because Dean, one of the things I most respect about Dean is that when he gets a goal, he's feverish in his like commitment to meeting that goal, and is pretty pragmatic and pretty determined. I can be pretty washy.
And he wasn't even pissed about you. That's the funniest thing. He was like, okay.
No, dude, he was pissed with me.
Yeah?
He was pissed that I was being over apologetic. And he was
exactly.
pissed.
Then you were a whiny bitch.
Yeah, I was being a whiny bitch. But to be fair, I nearly killed 2 of my friends.
I
was
get
like, I just felt so bad that like I thought like if I went a little bit different, I was going back to Cape Town to talk to Dean's parents, who were just so good to me. And also felt bad that like it was my responsibility. As soon as you're on the wheel of a car, you're responsible to your passengers for like their safety. And I disrespected kind of like their trust in me.
See this nice driver, he's concentrated. He's got 2 hands on the fucking steering wheel. And here, look at this, he's just concentrated.
Like, because one of my biggest regrets traveling, and like one of my biggest regrets in life in general, is not going on that trip with you guys.
So especially the last sentence of Jordan really stuck with me. He was like, I really wish I did this with you guys. And that's what I can see with a lot of people. A lot of people just miss out on a lot of opportunities. And when the opportunity arises, you just gotta grab it straight away. For me, it was ditching half a year of an Australian gold mine contract, which I could have made a lot of money with. But as soon as Dean told me what kind of idea they had and what they wanted to do, I was like, this is a once in a lifetime chance. I just gotta take it. Like, fuck the money, I can always make it back. I just know this is the thing I need to do. And my heart really knew, like, I love road trips. I've always wanted to do the thing in Africa. I always thought I would do it when I was like 50. And so when this chance in your mid-20s arises, you just gotta grab it. That's the difference between people that look back on their lives and go like, I really had a good life. I really had a life that I was living in my terms. And people that go like, oh, I wish I had done this. I wish I had done this. And like people that live full of regret. I'm not saying that Jordan is living his life full of regret. I actually think he has a lot of fun. But it's these small things, these small decisions that lead to bigger decisions and bigger decisions. And in the end, they lead to a fulfilled life. So that's all what I want to tell you. I hope you got inspired. I hope you gonna hop on your own adventure. And although it doesn't always turn out as planned, it's part of the journey and you will always find a solution. See you next time. So if you're curious how the whole adventure turned out, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And also in the next video, I'm gonna show you what decisions led to the following picture. See ya and have a good night.